Hi guys, welcome to ISCon Driving, and today is day number 12 of the MCO and we are all stuck in the house. Well, with all this inactivity, some of your cars are going to need some tender loving care. In other words, you're probably going to need to jump start your car if you didn't jaga your battery very well, yeah? So what we're going to do today is we're going to show you how to jump start your car in the correct manner. Okay, before you jump start a car, you're going to need a set of jumper cables. Now these are jumper cables and you can buy them off accessory shops anywhere or even off the online shops. Now, how do you choose the correct one? This one is one of the cheap ones you can buy for maybe between 10 to 20 ringgit off the online shops or in the DIY shops and all that. But what is a jumper cable? Jumper cable basically has got two pieces of wires and they're usually in red and black. There's a reason for this later. I will show you. But before you go out there and buy that one set, let's take a look at this one. Now this is one of the cheap sets and this has been around. I don't know how it ended in my house. I think it belongs to a friend of mine. And you can see here, this clamp here is it's got a piece of plastic or rubber that was insulating it, and that has disappeared because it just was not fitted very well. It was something like this, yeah, the red one, and this one. This piece comes off very easily, see? So it's not a very good, or rather not a very well built set of jumper cables. Now the other thing is you must look at the size of the cable. This cable size is maybe about 8 mm and it's very thin, yeah, it's very thin inside. And so this, at the best you can do is maybe start a small car that is under 1000 cc. Anything bigger than that, most people have around 1.5 liter cars now. You might just be able to start it, but you'll find that if you use this type of wire, there will be times when it just cannot crank the other car. Rather the donor car cannot crank the recipient because the contact is poor, and also because the current that these wires can transmit is not enough. So therefore you actually need to find one with thicker cable. So guys, if you go to the shop, cheap is not necessarily good. Definitely in the case of a jumper cable, cheap is definitely not good, so you need something thicker. Now this is a better set of jumper cables. First thing about this you notice is, of course, the colors are still red and black. Okay, and here the wire is so much bigger. This wire is about 15 mm thick, so that means it can carry more current. And the clamp looks quite heavy duty, although it's not the best. And this one, the rubber still comes out, but well, if you keep it well, maybe it will stay. Okay, so this is one of the better ones that you can find. And also you must get a reasonable length here, because if the wire is too short, you will have difficulty. Okay, here it is. This one is about 2-point-something meters long and should be okay to reach most cars, and this is about the standard length that you will get. You can also custom make and get some longer ones, but this length should be about right. Okay, of course, if your car is facing the wrong way, you might have a bit of a problem, and it's quite difficult to get any ones that are longer than this. So important thing in choosing cable like this is to make sure the thickness is big. This will start a truck, yeah, so that's very important. And the length must be about 2.5 meters. This is about 2.5 meters. And here's another cable that I've been using for the longest time. It's been here for years. It's got a very strong clamp, so it won't come off. Yeah, this clamp is very strong, and these rubbers seem to have withstood the test of time. and the wire itself is very thick. It used to be stuck together like this, but as time went by, it sort of like disintegrated, yeah, and it's starting to split itself up. But this jumper cable has not failed me as yet. So this is a very old one. It costs a lot of money. I can't remember how much, but I think it's above 40 or 50 ringgit. Okay, this is the car that's going to get jump started, and it's a Volkswagen TSI, and now we need to find a donor vehicle. So the donor vehicle will be another Volkswagen, which we have out here. I'm going to park it as close as possible. So what you want to do is to try to park the two cars as close as possible so that the wires can reach, or rather the jump cable can reach both the batteries, yeah. Okay, so we've got the donor vehicle, which is another Golf, and you notice I parked it slightly offset because the battery on the Golf is on the left hand side, and here you see it's undercover, yeah. So this is the battery of the Golf R, and the date says it was fitted on the 13th of April 2019. Okay, let's get this thing out there. The cover is a bit stubborn. Okay, so let's take the next step. Now the jumper cable has got two colors, red and black. Usually red means life or danger or where the power is, so this means positive, yeah. And you can see here on the battery itself there is a protective cover here, and it's red, and it has the word, it has the plus, which is positive, yeah, positive terminal. And even on the battery itself you will see a little plus sign here, and this side there is a minus sign. So you could take out the cover, there's a minus sign here. Plus means positive, N or minus means negative, yeah. So what you do is the red goes to the red, the black goes to the black. See, this is black, yeah, this is a red, there's a wire red here, and also there's a red here. So always remember, positive goes to the one with the power. So what you do is you fit the positive to the clamp, or rather put the clamp on the positive and make sure it's tight, okay. Then you put the negative clamp on the negative, and you always start with the vehicle to be jump started because this battery is weak and it's flat and it's probably doesn't have any power, so it's okay. But just in case, you have to keep the other side of the leads away from touching anything if possible, yeah. That's to prevent any drainage. Now you have the red onto the red, then you put the black onto the black, which is the negative. One is positive, one is negative, and you're done. So now you're ready to move to the other side, to the donor vehicle. Okay, right, so now we're at the donor vehicle, and what you need to do is again take off the protective cover, if any. So there's one here, this is the positive, and it says here there's a plus sign, and this is the negative, okay, which is the earth. So in the Volkswagen they don't, yeah, there's still a red wire there at the bottom. Now you connect the red first. This is the earth, so that connects last. So red, from the red terminal or plus terminal on the vehicle to be started to the plus terminal on the donor vehicle. So the donor vehicle is the one that's going to supply the charge, yeah. And then the last one, you always do the red one first, because as long as you haven't touched this, there's no circuit. So now you fit the negative or the black to the negative part of the battery in the donor vehicle. Then you go and start. Okay, let's have a quick look. So you can see red on red, black on black, and the red wire goes through all the way to the donor vehicle, and it goes to the positive part of the battery, which you can see here there's a plus sign. Plus is always positive, accountants will know. And then the black goes to the negative part of the battery. So now we will go to the car and we will start it. If your donor car has got a very powerful battery, you don't need to start the engine, but sometimes it helps to start it up. So we're going to start up the donor car so that, okay, so we started up the donor car and the donor car is running. So the alternator is charging the battery, and we're going to go to the recipient car and we're going to start the engine. Alright, we are now in the recipient car and we are going to get inside the car, put the key in the lock, and we can, and voila, the car starts. So that's how you jump start the car. And after you've jump started, you need to leave the engine running for a while, at least 20 minutes to charge it up, and then you have to slowly take out the battery terminals, or rather the cable from the battery. Okay, we got both the engines running, so what we'll do is we'll turn off the engine first. Okay, so the donor vehicle engine is off, and we're going to remove the cables. So when you're removing the cables, always take off the negative first, and there you are. You hold it in your hand and you take off the other one. Then you go back, making sure it doesn't touch any surfaces. Hold it in your hand, you go back and you remove the negative and the positive. So now you have an engine that's running because you kick started it. Now you keep it running for a while to let it charge the battery. And don't forget to put back the covers. And close the bonnet. So the engine is running there, and on the donor vehicle we will put back the one cover that we found, and that is here. The other cover seems to be missing, but there's another protective cover on top. So there you go guys, that's the jump starting technique or proper process. Thanks for watching, and if you like it, please share and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.